What's up, YouTube family? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight to talk to you about Ivie a little bit more. So we went over the Google Earth hotspots. Now it's time to dive into the webapp navionics side and talk to you guys about the offshore goodness that this lake has to offer. So stick around. I got some great stuff for you. Here we go. Here we are on the webapp navionics side for Lake Ivie. Let's go ahead and do just like we did on the Google Earth side. Let's start at the dam. We'll work our way up the west side, and then we'll come back down the east side. And I do want to say before we get into this, I have drawn this lake down to 16 feet below pool. So definitely a lot further down than what we're accustomed to drawing it down to. But I had to draw this down because the lake is drawn down so much. The lake is actually 16 feet below pool right now. So that's where I set these offshore markers at. So hopefully at some point in time, this lake will actually get a little bit deeper. We can go back and kind of revise some of this stuff and get some new offshore stuff that's not as far out. But for right now, here's what we found. So as we come over here, obviously this main river channel arm, anytime you get up around these points are going to be good places to look, especially from an offshore standpoint. Getting out here close to this creek bed, maybe even out here where this little underwater hump is. Of course, you're getting way out there deep. So my stuff's going to be a little bit more shallower per se. Like right here, I really like this place. You've got a nice flat top to a point here that has some really good breaks off the side of it that break off into a creek channel or a creek bed. So I really like that area. If you pull it back, you can tell there's some really good breaks going on right around the edge of that point. Also, as we move over here, if we pull over here, you can see there's a nice little hump out here. Right now, it's only about 5 feet. And you've got a really good drop, a hump, and it goes in about 19, 20 foot of water, and there's some rock down there. So that looks really, really promising. I'll definitely be hitting that spot up this weekend for sure. Moving up here, again, big old flat that's out here. And then as we get off to the side of the flat, there's a creek bed out here with a culvert, and you can see there's some really steep contours right in this area. So really like that spot right there where I put that fish at. Also, as you move over here, someone had put a marker out here saying that there's a hump here. So you definitely want to take a look at that. That's also really close to both those creek beds. So I could see from an offshore standpoint that having some potential. I didn't see the hump there. You can't see the hump there with the contours, but if somebody put it there, you might just want to go check it out. Also coming back in here, you've got a culvert that's back here with the roadbed. So a lot of times you can find rock and stuff like that around that. I could see that having potential. And then if you look right off this underwater point, there's a roadbed that swings all around here. So you could actually check out that entire roadbed if you wanted to. So then moving up here, we get into these bigger flats that are over here and stuff like that, but they've got little points that come out. And on top of this point right here, we've got a nice little roadbed. So about 10, 15 foot of water. And you got a nice little roadbed right on the top of a little point there, or a little underwater point. So I really like how that looks. I also like these spots too, where they really drop off. So it looks like you've got some emergent vegetation here. So possibly hydrilla and stuff. And then where that hydrilla breaks might be right where that deeper water really starts. So definitely go and check out those spots as well. As you move up here, another underwater point that comes out. You can see it right here and right off the tip of the point. That's where I would definitely put a lot of focus right here around where that creek bed is and everything else. You got real good drops, real good feeding table and things like that. And so really, really definitely a good spot to look at. Also back in here, you've got another culvert that's back here. This one's in 30, 35 foot of water, but you could definitely go check it out. See if you could find anything there. As you move further up here, another one of those humps. This one's in about 7 or 8 foot of water, and you're probably like, hey, it's not 7 or 8 foot. It says 23. Well, that's 23 minus the 16 foot that's down. So it's really only a 7 foot hump out here, and it's got a roadbed that's right up really close to the side of it. And then if you look over here, you've got another drop, really drastic drop that drops you right into that river channel. So that could be a good spot. You've also got another fishing hotspot that was marked here in this area. So you'll want to go take a look at that one, see if you can find anything there. And then as we move further up, we get in here, we've got 2 little points, a little finger that comes right in here. Really like that. Has a real nice drop that goes off right there. And then also here, it says there's some emergent vegetation. That could be hydrilla and stuff as well. If it is, that'd be awesome. And then you've also got a really good break right off of that one that goes right into that creek bed. As we swing up around, we get up here, kind of following the boat lane here. Just a couple points I want you guys to take a look at. This little point here has a roadbed off of it. This one here looks really good, has some really good breaks off of it as well. Again, getting really close to the river channel too, so you always like those points that are close to the river channel. This one as well, you got a real good bluff wall going on right in this area, obviously, so you want to look at that. And the point that comes right off the edge of that, if I zoom that back, you'll really see the breaks. That's got some pretty sharp breaks right off the edge of it. So I can see that whole just area. You know me and creek swings. I like to fish the creek swings. Also right here, you got another good point. Real good breaks. Really like that spot. Flooded timber there as well. And then back in here, if you look really closely, you'll see there's a roadbed back here. So right behind this dock that's out here, there's a roadbed that goes right off to the north of it. You might want to check that out. Sometimes those are secret little gems that you can pick up on the maps. And then as we move further up here, of course, following the boat lane, you'd have to come pretty far off the boat lane to get up here. But if you get up in here, there's another one of these humps. It's a little 6 foot hump, 6 foot deep. Got a roadbed on it. There's another one over here, 7 foot hump with another roadbed out in here. So maybe get up in here and check out this spot right up in here. Maybe even put another marker right there on that hump and fish between the two and then all around the two of them. You may have some success there. So I'm going to keep following this up. We go around the big swing here. Of course, right on the swing, you got some really interesting stuff here. It looks like there's an underwater, or there was an underwater island. It's not underwater anymore. So you got a little underwater or little island that's right there that you could fish around. You've got really good breaks going on right in there. Nice little humps and things. I like just the area right there. It also says there's some obstructions behind it. I'm having a tough time talking on this one. And then also, we're going to keep moving up. Actually, I got to stay on the west side, don't I? So we'll come back to that one here in a minute. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about it. So we got a little hump out here. Looks like a little point with some really good breaks right by that creek bed. And you may also want to check right in here as well. This little deep spot, because you've got it 22 foot, and it gets really about 25 foot and then back to 22 foot. So just that little saddle right in there could be productive. All right, so let's get back down here where I'm supposed to be on the west side. I've swung way out here, but that's really how we go on offshore stuff. It takes us all over the place. Next couple of places are going to be right in here. You'll notice you've got again, some islands that are pumping up. They're really underwater humps, but they're little islands. So you could fish right off the edges of those. Those look really good. Look at those really good sharp breaks. You've also got a bridge that's out here too that you could go check out. And that bridge looks interesting. And then right here off this point looks really good too. Again, another one of those little humps that come up. And then you've got a nice little point that comes out right there. Normally that hump's in 12 foot of water. So really interesting. So as we move further back here, just following these river channels, seeing what we've got, we got another one of these underwater points that come out here, or an underwater island hump, whatever you want to call it. So I like how that sets up. It's also got a roadbed on it too. Makes it even more interesting. Then over here, you've got this little spot here. It looks like it comes up really shallow, only about a foot right there, but then it breaks like crazy right in that area. So right around where that swing is, again, looking in those areas, those are always really good spots to look at. As we move further up the creek channel, just a couple more ledges and things to look at. Real good ledge right in here. Someone also marked it. So I figured that'd be a good spot for you guys. Another good spot over in here. You've got a roadbed that comes off and it dives down into the riverbed. So right there, in that area, definitely would want to go check that out. Up here, you got kind of the same thing. A couple more fishing or diving hotspots are right in here. So it makes me wonder if there's not a brush pile or a big rock pile or something like that going on there. That's not really in the middle of a huge swing. It's a little bit of a swing, but nothing crazy. You've also got a creek bed back here. So off of this point, you'll notice it really drops off really good right off the edge of that point. So then as we move up here and get around the swing, of course, you're on the swing. If you see a point on this river swing, that is definitely a spot that you want to go to. So right there, you're going to fish off that point right there. It's got a good creek bed off of it. And then off this side, you've got the big river channel. And then the same thing, you got the river channel coming up here and really slamming hard against the bank line right in that area. I think as we move further back, there were just a couple more spots back here, just two more. You could have marked pretty much right here around this point too. I really like that. If you follow that little creek channel back, that one that comes off the side, there's another really good flat that's over here. And then right off the edge of the flat, you got a really good creek channel that comes off here with a nice little break. So you could check that one out. And then as you move up here, again, fish those points where that river channel is. And if you get back in here, I had one more spot I wanted to show you guys that I liked. It was right here. Again, that creek swing coming in and slamming right up against the side of the bank line there. Those are always like just really good spots to look at. All right, so let's go ahead and start back where we were. We covered all those points. So let's go back here. We'll talk about this one up here. So as we come up here, again, real good flat up here. So anytime you get in those flats, you want to find those creek beds, those ditches, which we probably marked it in Google Earth, and really fish right around that area. You've got really good breaks coming right in here, and you got a little intersection there where the creeks come together. Again, here you got a creek swing. You can see where the contours get really tight. You want to fish in those areas for sure. Also right here, that'd be a good spot to look at right where I put that fish. I could have also put another one right here too, because that's going to be a good spot to look at as well. Then as we wind back out, get back down into the main river, this is going to be confusing as heck because I've talked about half these. We talked about all of those. Let's go back up here. We talked about that one. We talked about that one as well. And then we were just kind of hugging that river channel as we went down there. I don't think we talked about this stuff. So we do have, actually we did. We talked about that roadbed being there. Let's go down a little bit further. And now we're going to get back into where places we have not talked about. So that's going to be right in here. So as we get over here, actually, let's talk about this one real quick. We didn't talk about this one. We got the roadbed there that we talked about just a second ago. And then we also have this here, which is a nice little hump that's over here. We've also got real good roadbed that's over coming off the side of it, a creek bed off the other side of it. I could see that having some really good potential. That's only, I think that, yeah, that's only 7 or 8 feet. So pretty shallow hump now. Also fish around this point. See the breaks around that point look really, really good. Over here where I have this fish marked off this little island that comes out here, this little point, that is going to be a primo spot. Not just where the fish is, because the fish is also in another turn, but coming out a little bit further and fishing this break right in here could be really good as well. We will definitely be fishing that spot this weekend. As we move further up here, again, some really good breaks coming off this point, and then breaking off into the, into the little creek bed there, and then moving further up. Let's talk about this spot way up here. Good little point here. If you look at it, real good point, only about 7 or 8 feet deep, and then it drops pretty good right into that creek channel. And it's right there by the boat lanes too, so that's going to make it really easy for you guys. Also over here, you've got a good point that comes out. This one's only going to be, again, 6, 7 feet deep right now with real good breaks off the side of it. So like that one as well. Of course, if you're listening to me at all during this video, boom, another good creek swing hitting a couple different points here. So one right there and one right there as well. Then as we move a little bit further down, we're getting back out here into the main lake stuff. We've got a pretty good spot right here where the creek channels have an intersection. Someone's also put a marker there. And then here's going to be your main lake, your ledge fishing. You've got a couple marks out here. You've got one right there. I marked this one. I really like this one. And I really like this one as well. You're talking some deep, deep stuff. So not something that I really do a lot, but definitely something that I'm going to be doing this weekend for sure. Moving on down here, more points. This is the point right off the river channel, right? And that's always what you want to be looking at, is where that river channel and the points meet. We're going to be fishing those. Also, as you come back here, you've got a pretty decent little secondary point coming back in here. Looks like you may have some vegetation back here as well, and the creek channel that runs right off the edge of that point. As we move further back, more points off the river channel again. This one as well. Nice little point here. You got a nice ledge that's out here too that you could check out. You just don't get ran over by the boats in the boat lane. And then as we get down here by the dam to finish this video up, we got 3 more spots to show you. Right here, you've got a creek bed that comes in. I believe we may have even marked this one on the Google Earth side. We've got a creek bed that comes in here you want to check out. These little points, this nice little flat here, 5-foot flat with a good little drop here. It's also got a roadbed up there too. So if they're up shallow, you can get them. If they're pulling back, you should be able to get them as well. They should be set up in this area pretty good. You got some really good depth for them to get out into really quickly. And then moving down, we get down here by the dam. Actually, we just passed the dam, and that is actually where we started. So that wraps us up for Ivie that tells us all the offshore hotspots. If you missed the Google Earth waypoints video, make sure to go check that out. I'll put a link up the top so you guys have that, but you can go check that out. And don't forget, you can get all these waypoints plus the Google Earth waypoints on your graphs. All you have to do is go out to simplisticfishing.com and order your SD card today. So guys, I really appreciate it. Hope this is helping you out, and I hope I get to bring you guys some live video here soon from Ivie. Stay tuned, and until next time, hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.